In this video, I'm going to give you all my wise and sage-like advice on collecting Star Wars The Black Series. Whether you're a new collector just starting to dip your toes into the Black Series waters, or you're a grizzled and seasoned Black Series collecting vet, you're not going to want to miss this video. And it starts right now. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Nerdzoic. If you're new here, my name is Matt, sometimes known as Big Nerdy, and this channel is Nerdzoic. So on this channel, we talk about action figures, nostalgia, and just general nerdy stuff. If that's your jam, go ahead and hit subscribe and turn that little bell notification on so that YouTube lets you know every time I let up a new video, which, by the way, is every week at least once. Usually twice, sometimes 3 times. I've been talking about the Star Wars Black Series collection for a few months now, and I haven't really given out too many tips. Here's the thing. I made a ton of mistakes when I started collecting this line that I regret, and I want to help you avoid them. So I have 5 tips for you that are going to help make collecting more enjoyable, whether you're just starting out or you're a seasoned vet. Make sure you stick around for the 5th tip, because I'm going to give you some hints on how to acquire some figures in mass for the cheapest amount possible. Before I get to the Black Series, I wanted to drop a quick announcement for my friends over at 𝐒𝐈𝐒𝐲𝐿. Hey, you guys! Yep, they just dropped their new line of exclusive Goonies merchandise. If you're a Goonies fan, then chunk your way on over there and pick up some new shirts. They're pretty cool. If you do so, make sure you use the link down in the description, and there's also some coupon codes down there. It's 10% off every order that doesn't involve electronics, and 15% off your first order if you're a first-time customer. So head on over to 𝐒𝐈𝐿, give it a try. If you haven't been there in a while, I encourage you to try them again. I've had nothing but good experiences from them. All right, let's talk tips and tricks. The first piece of advice I have, tip number 1 if you will, talk to your spouse before you start collecting. Unless you're single, this is a must. And here's why. There's nothing more awkward than your husband and or wife opening the door and saying, oh, a package. Oh, it has my husband and or wife's name on it. I better open that sucker up and see what it is. I wonder if it's a toy? They might think you're having a nervous breakdown if this is new. Or maybe they think that you've just lost your mind, or they think, oh my God, I'm dating a serial killer. Or they, harken back the 40-year-old virgin and that stereotype. It makes sense to talk to your spouse first for a couple of reasons. One, so they don't think you're insane. Let's face it, collecting action figures is a little bit of a niche hobby, so making sure you explain your reasons why and why you want to start doing it is important, and it's good for your relationship. Also, there's a lot of money involved in this, and you want to make sure that she understands or he understands what you're doing before you start spending it. Every relationship is different, but it's better to talk to your spouse first before boxes of toys start showing up at the door. Tip number 2, have a budget. This is a hobby where you can go broke really quickly. Setting a budget ensures that you're not going to harm your financial well-being buying toys. Keep in mind that as an investment, toys are incredibly volatile, and I highly don't recommend it unless you're just buying vintage toys that have grades on it or are verified to actually be real. Modern toys like the Black Series are not a good investment because they can be reissued at any time. They can make a whole nother wave. So say you have a figure that's really rare, who's to say Hasbro won't just make that same exact figure in that same exact packaging again and say, it's a re-release? Now it's something that you spent a ton of money on because you're like, oh, I'm going to invest in this rare figure, is worthless. Understand that there's a lot of risk in this hobby if you think that you have a ton of resale value with modern toys. Black Series figures especially, man, they peak and they valley based on the releases. Look at the Black Series 𝐒𝐿RA. The one from 2016 was fetching near $100 a few months ago. Then they announced a re-release and it's dropped like a rock ever since. Tip number 3, have a focus. This is probably the biggest tip I have. A focus will help you feel more content with your collection and keep you from getting stressed out. You cannot be a completionist as a Black Series collector, as a vintage, anything. Being a completionist is a terrible idea unless you have an unlimited budget and unlimited storage space. If you're a mint-on-card collector, I don't care how much storage space you have. Unless you have Rancho Obi-Wan, you're not going to be able to fit everything forever. So what exactly is a focus? Well, it's basically just narrowing down exactly what it is you collect. Maybe you collect a particular character, like, oh, I'm going to collect everything Yoda, or everything Chewbacca. Maybe you collect a particular faction, all the rebels, all the Empire, or all the scum and villainy. Maybe you collect a certain movie, or a certain set of movies, like, I only collect the original trilogy, or I only collect the sequels. Why would you only collect the sequels? Have some sort of a focus, and this will be a way more fun collection for you. Base your focus on something special to you. For me, Jedi and Sith, That's Star Wars to me, baby. So whenever I see them, that's something I always have to have. Tip number four is to watch out for knockoffs. This is especially prevalent in older figures. The best way to avoid getting ripped off with a knockoff figure is to realize that if a price is too good to be true, it probably is. I'll be making a video on how to recognize knockoff figures in the coming weeks. As soon as I make that video, I'll put a link down in the description. Until that time though, just remember, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. Last but not least, tip number 5. Get the most bang for your buck when you're starting a collection or when you're building a collection or when you're collecting, period. So the first way to do this is to know what these figures are worth. This is something that's a point of contention and people fight with me on Facebook. They're like, oh, value's this. Value, very simply, is what someone is willing to pay for something. Value differs from person to person. Therefore, to figure out worth, you have to average people's value. The best way to do this is to look at completed sales and average them together. If only there was some way to do this for us automatically. Oh wait, there is. Action Figure 411, link in the description. They do this for you. They have an eBay aggregator. They also track prices on Amazon and Walmart. So if you want to know what something's worth, that's the best way to do it. You're going to get a pretty accurate answer here. The second part of getting the most bang for your buck is to shop smart when you're at conventions. My method for shopping at conventions is really simple. First of all, I know what most figures are worth. I have it down in my head. As I go from table to table, if I see a table where one or two things that I know the value of really well is underpriced, then most likely everything at that table is underpriced and this dealer is ready to make some deals, so I go to town. Don't walk away. Don't say, oh, come back after I see the rest of the convention hall, because if I'm there, I'm going to buy everything good at a good price. Which, by the way, 𝐒𝐈𝐒𝐿 convention, Toys for the Ages, that's coming up in just 2 days. If anyone sees me there, give me the old fist bump. Yo, what's up, big nerdy? I'm looking forward to seeing some people. Next place to get the most bang for your buck, Amazon. I know, not that surprising, but it kind of is because you hear a lot of complaining. Here's the thing, if you're a loose collector, you can't beat Amazon. The box is probably going to come destroyed, so if you're a mint on card collector, stay away, or do so at your own risk. But you can get some great loose figures really cheap. All those peg warmers that I always laugh about, I pick them up for like $8 or $9 on Amazon mint on card. I can often buy 2 and just hope one of them are in good shape. But if you're a loose collector, buy one and you easy peasy. And lastly, shop for lots, especially of loose toys. You'll get the best bang for your buck here. Best places to go, eBay, Mercari, Facebook, and Craigslist, believe it or not, still exists. What I do is I have alerts set for things I'm looking for, which very easy, just set some alerts on your phone. You'll get an alert when someone posts something. You can jump all over that thing. Oh, one more tip for getting the most bang for your buck. Discount stores that buy overstock. Places like Ollie's, places like Big Lots, anything like that. Even sometimes like a Ross or a TJ Maxx. They'll buy a bunch of stuff at super discount and then sell it for like $5. Right now, if you want any of the solo figures, you can find them at most of these stores for like $5.99. I actually picked up some pretty awesome figures at Ollie's last year. I got the Lando Empire Strikes Back. I got a couple Royal Guards. You can't beat that for $5 or $6. Question of the day today, what tips do you have that I did not cover that you'd like to share with the rest of Nerdzoic Nation? And do you have a question about collecting the Black Series that I didn't cover? Hit me up in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Until next time, be cool and stay nerdy.